Alright you guys, it's story time. Today I'm going to be telling you all the great experience I had when first being introduced to Forex. And if you can't tell, it is sarcastic. So, today I'm going to be telling you guys the person that got me introduced to Forex. So in order for me to go back in time to tell you this story, which some of you guys might relate to, I have to go back way towards the early part of my college time / right when I was leaving high school. So at this time, I was really interested in stocks, and I was sort of investing and learning about stocks and trying to trade a little bit here and there with various levels of success and failure. But somebody came along and on Instagram, they sent me a DM and they said, hey, I saw you're interested in trading, but do you know about Forex? You can actually make a lot more money. And so here I am, I'm like, super naive, and I'm like, no, I've never heard of Forex. What is Forex? And he said, well, you can trade currencies. And so I was sort of interested and I was willing to hear more. So he said, hey, join this Telegram chat. So I joined a Telegram chat, and there's a bunch of people, various places and different, I could tell it was a very diverse group of people from Europe and America and different places. And this person that introduced me was sort of the ringleader. What I come to find out, he actually owned the Telegram chat. Sure enough, of course he was. He was the one sending me, hey, join our Telegram. So I was like, okay, I'll join it. And so I joined it thinking, I'll just check it out. And so right off the bat, the first thing I noticed, my first exposure to Forex, was a bunch of people in this group chat talking about how much money they were making from Forex and how it was this amazing thing. And so here I am thinking, wow, I'd love to get in on this. And mind you guys, I'm very naive. I don't know much about this stuff at this time. And so he starts touting about how much he made and how he made, 10 grand last week and 5 grand the day before, the week before. And I asked him, like how are you doing this? What are you doing? He's like, I use a couple, strategies and such. And so I'm very, very intrigued at this point. Well, the hype just kept going. The Telegram chat here was like, it was wild, and they were talking about like all sorts of money they were making and going big on Forex and how they were trading Bitcoin and trading this and that and how everybody was making money and they were making money together. So I'm sitting there like, okay, you know what? I'll open up a Forex account. So I open up a Forex account and I deposit $50. And I remember asking my mentor here, he said he would mentor me. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, you can be my mentor. Why not? It's free, right? And anyways, so he goes, yeah, $50. You can flip that. You can make some serious money with that. You can make that into $50 into 500 into 1,000. And I'm sitting there like, okay, yeah, bet. Like, you know what? I'll use leverage. And at this point, I don't know anything about leverage, you guys. Like I said, my only exposure to trading at this point was trading stocks where, your leverage is 1-to-1. If you buy a share for $100, you have $100 in. If it goes up by $10, you made $10. So on and so forth. So I'm sitting there not really understanding leverage, and he's telling me I can turn my 50 into 500. And I'm sitting there like, okay, let's go! I'm gonna make some serious money here. It didn't work out. But anyways, like I said, the hype train kept going, and so I deposited my $50, and I'm struggling, but I'm proud because I'm sitting there. I'm a pretty, I'm not gonna jump in and try and flip my money. Fortunately, I had some previous businesses before I ever gotten into trading and investing, and I had seen, the reality of trying to make money quick even before I got into Forex. So fortunately, I didn't do anything stupid. I didn't try and just blow my $50. I was trying to just make $1 or $2 on my account and trying to just figure this Forex thing out. But I remember one distinct day where I'm sitting in the Telegram chat and I'm sitting there and I'm reading all these messages of people making big money on their tiny accounts. And they start saying, hey, one day we're going to head down to the Bahamas and we're all going to be millionaires. So when we hit $1 million collectively in profits, we're going to take a trip down to the Bahamas. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, bet. I'm not even anywhere near $1 million, but all these guys who also have small accounts, because they've shown their accounts, they're like, I got $500 in my account. I'm like, how are you going to turn that into $1 million? But, they had high hopes and they had high dreams, and this seems to be the story of Forex, is people think they're going to take a small amount of money and turn it into a large amount of money. So they're all talking about this dream vacation where when they're all millionaire traders, they're going to go down to the Bahamas and things are all going to be all set and good. Well, at one point, the ringleader, my mentor at this time, I'm not going to say his name, I think I still follow him on Instagram somewhere, but he was basically saying, you know, okay, if you're going to be successful, you're going to be in the millionaire club, we got to set some ground rules. The ground rules were, I kid you not, whether you're trading from home, wherever you're trading, you got to be wearing a suit and tie in your freaking living room. I'm not even kidding. So I'm sitting there hearing this. He goes, if you don't think I'm serious, and then he sends a screenshot in the group. I remember he's sitting there on like a beaten up couch in like not a very nice house. And this is the guy, by the way. He's the guy claiming he's making 10 grand a month, 5 grand, 10 grand a week. Sorry, 5 grand a week, making huge money. And he's like this super successful millionaire trader. And he's saying, you know, if you want to be successful, you need to dress up super nice and sit in your living room and trade like you're in a Wall Street, you know, hedge fund or something. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, this is a little bit goofy. Why am I dressing up when nobody? And I guess his theory was like, okay, if you dress nicely, you'll act more professional. And honestly, that was cool. But I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of laughing it up when I first saw the pictures of like a bunch of dudes in their living room trading on their computers, wearing like tuxedos and nice sports, you know, jackets and all this stuff. And anyways, I never ended up doing it because I was just kind of like, that seems like a little bit much. Like why can't I just trade wearing what I'm wearing? But so I get all this, these tips and things you got to do and all this stuff. And finally, the last tip, you guys, this is rich. This is just the best part. So we go through the list. We're going through all these different things. You got to be dressed up nicely. One thing he said, if you wear sunglasses, it helps you see the charts better. And I was sitting there like, are you kidding me? So he's saying you got to put your sunglasses on, and then, you know, whatever, right? You got to look cool. You got to look right. You got to play the part. Well, anyways, the final key component to the list of how to be successful, you guys. Are you ready for it? Drum roll. You got to buy the $500 course that he has available to trade the way he trades and to learn his secret strategies. And at this point, we were hopping around from talking about going down to the Bahamas when we're all millionaires and how a lot of us have like under $100 in our trading accounts. And I'm sitting there, he's saying $500 for a trading course. And I can remember still what he was doing. He basically had like 3 moving averages on a chart, and he basically said buy when it pulls back. And that was his $500 course. And to this day, that was just the best and worst way to get introduced to Forex. Best because it revealed that there's a lot of just scams and fake stuff on the internet when it comes to Forex. Dressing up in a suit for your living room to trade, that's really your secret? Come on, right? There's got to be something more than that. And probably the worst experience too, because at first I thought, okay, this is just silly, and I thought about not taking it any seriously and just sticking to stocks. Fortunately, I dug deeper and I realized that you can learn a lot for free on the internet, like on places like my channel, right? You can watch that stuff completely for free and learn a lot without spending any money. That's probably one of the better things that I got out of it, because I didn't pay that money. Unfortunately, I never bought the course. I thought it was pretty much, at that point I was pretty silly. There was actually one part that I forgot to mention. The very, very key important part to the story is that one day he was in his yard. And he's clearly in his house. He said he's like, oh, I'm taking a break from my trading. And he sort of like panoramic views with his phone. And sure enough, in the background of his shot is like this super beaten down like property that he's living at. And I'm not like here to judge anybody who doesn't have as much money, but we're talking about a guy who was telling us, we're gonna go on big vacations, I'm making 10 grand a week, I'm making 5 grand a week. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, if you're making that much money, why are you living in a pretty low class, like pretty like beat up spot? If you're making so much money, like you would think if you're making money, you would get yourself a little bit better place to live. And so, I don't know, this is where it just all sort of fell apart for me. And I just remember being like, this ain't it. This is not, this is the fake flex stuff that they're talking about when it comes to Forex. So please don't fall victim to that. Maybe you guys have a similar experience. If you made it to the end of the video, make sure to comment down below and let me know what got you introduced to Forex. I'm really curious to see what you guys to say. Make sure you guys have to say. Make sure before you leave the video to subscribe to the channel down below. Click that notification bell if you want more stuff from me in the future, maybe some more crazy stories like this, and subscribe, like the video as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, we'll see you back in the next one.